Hey, this is John. I made a video earlier. It may have a little foul language in it, and I apologize. I try not to talk that way, but, by God, I'm hurt. And I know there's a million others hurt out there. I got into BitConnect, and just like you, most of you did, with hopes and dreams. I have a son with autism. I was hoping and dreaming, and thought, all right, this is something I can do besides this daily grind that doesn't get me anywhere. And actually have some money for him and money for stem cell therapy and just money when I die, that he'll be able to, someone will be able to take out of the wallet and help him along. It just breaks my heart. Does it make me mad? Yeah. Yeah, it makes me mad. If I could find these people, would I take their fingers off an inch at a time? Yeah, I would. For me and my son and the rest of you. They did us wrong. And for any of you naive people that really are so stupid to believe that these promoters, I won't say their names, I should, but, a bunch of black dudes and white guys, they're out here now trying to keep you as subscribers so they can rip you off some more and keep getting paid from YouTube. If you people, please God, wake up. They ripped you off. They ripped us all off. They quit talking about BitConnect, 3 weeks before this happened? They stopped doing it. They stopped promoting it. They knew, whoever they know, they knew that this was coming. So don't let them lie to you. They made millions of dollars, and they're not like us. No, they're not. They knew what was going to happen, and they didn't tell nobody. BitConnect, a bunch of rip-offs. They deserve what the mobsters are going to give them. And believe me, there's some Russian mobsters and some Asian guys that are not going to take this very well, and there are going to be some people that they're going to take care of for us. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. What's
going on, people, man? It's been a few sad days, man. I lost all my savings, man. $30,000 in BitConnect. So I start hearing about, this Bitcoin. For you guys who don't know, BitConnect is like a platform. You lend your money out. You get percentage every day, and in 120 days, you can get your money back. So I have my money, sitting at the bank, I say, I'm not making any interest. So, I say, why not just move my money out and lend it out, $30,000. I make interest on, on the money every day. And in the next 120 days, I get my, my $30,000 back and interest. So I said, why not? So, I transfer my money into BitConnect. It took 3-4 days. And then, I lent my money out. So for the first few days, I tried to log into my BitConnect. I couldn't do it. They were saying something like, the website is, they're doing some work on the website. So, I couldn't log in. And finally, I was able to log in yesterday. And on the website they're talking about they're shutting down. So I went online on YouTube, people saying, it's a scheme. I said, what the fuck? I just got into this shit trying to make some interest. And now I lost all my fucking savings, man. $30,000 fucking dollars. Should I left this fucking money in the bank, man? What was I thinking? Oh, man, now all my money gone, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, man. Ah, this shit is crazy, man. I still can't believe it. I think I'm dreaming right now, man. BitConnect. Fucking scam motherfuckers. They scam my ass. I mean, it's just not just me. A lot of people lost a lot of money, like 100,000 and, 20,000, 50,000. It's not just me, but, I didn't make no money. I just started, trying to make a little bit of money because my money was sitting in the bank. No making no interest. I said, why not? Lend my money out. I'll make interest every day. And now my whole fucking money is gone. My whole fucking savings, man, $30,000 is gone. And they're talking about they release my money, in BitConnect coins. It's worthless now. I check on the cryptocurrency market. BitConnect, coin is like $20. It used to be like $363. Now it's worthless. It's like $20. It keep on going down. So all the BitConnect I got is worthless now. I can't sell it. Oh man. Y'all hit me in the comments below, man. Let me know what's going on. I mean, can you claim this on your taxes or whatever? Since I had you got to pay the government. Once you make profit on this, you got to pay taxes on that. So now when I lose all my money and I didn't make no profit, can I claim it on my taxes or whatever? Y'all hit me on the comments below, man. Let me know what is going on, man.
Hey, how are you guys today? Just want to make this video on my ride home, letting you know about my experience with Bitcoin. So let me tell you by starting off, I want to let you know that I've heard about Bitcoin for years, but I really wasn't paying much attention to it until earlier this year, where about April, I kept seeing a lot of posts on Facebook and also emails coming to my inbox regarding companies that are trading Bitcoin, and they're giving you a high yield, a high interest rate. So, okay, go ahead, Mr. Bus Driver. So I started looking into Bitcoin a little bit more. And the weekend that because they always tell you, don't buy any Bitcoins unless you have money that you don't mind losing. So the weekend, when I figured I have, enough, I took about $300, which is not much. I'm not rich like that, but I still want to be able to trade. I took some of that money and I said, let me invest it. And it so happened it's the same weekend that Gladio coin went under. So I watched that for the weekend. I kept seeing the Facebook posts, people panicking and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I'm going to wait. Gave it a couple more weekends, and I kept still seeing Facebook posts about now other companies. So being that I did internet marketing for quite some years, I have a lot of friends on Facebook who do the same thing, and I was watching them with their Bitcoin posts. So one person recommended BitComet. They recommended that company, and I put some money into BitComet. However, after about 2 weeks of watching that, I'm having my money gaining interest and reinvesting, just to be able to say, okay, I'm gonna make a decent profit. Just one evening I came in from work And when I went to the BitComet page, it was gone. Of course, I'm not able to be on Facebook like that during the workday. So when I go back and check the posts about what people were posting, yeah, within that day, they were all gone. Money gone, website gone, everything gone. So I'm like, oh my God. Of course, I'm sorry about the glare, but I don't want to put on my sunglasses just yet. So you figured that would be the end of Bitcoin for me? No. I joined a few more Facebook groups, and I kept seeing people posting about this next company called BTC Clock. So I watched that for a little while, and again I took some money and I invested in BTC Clock, and I kept hearing the cha-ching every freaking hour or every minute, I forget. But long story short, they went under also and left with money's gone, website gone, everything gone, just vanished within a couple of hours. All right, you think that would be it for me? Nope. Again, I stayed in the Facebook group. I watched other people post. I checked out the websites that they posted about, and I decided to join Ambis.biz. Again, that was doing well for a little while. I think this time I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna lose everything. Let me start pulling profit as soon as I'm able to. And I was able to pull about $20 in profit from having about 300 and something dollars in there. I was able to pull about $20 in profit. Of course, I'm pissed off, but they kept saying this is how the business is. I'm like, all right, I'm not giving up. There has to be someone out there who's actually doing the right thing, making sure people get paid, get an interest in their deposit and stuff. So I went on YouTube and I did some more research, seeing what companies were, there wasn't a lot more videos on YouTube because I guess people now after making videos about all these other places that went under, you know, they weren't trusting anyone, so nobody was making videos like that anymore. But there was one company that kept popping up, and it's called USI Tech. So I joined USI Tech, and I did that in the end of July 2017. I joined USI Tech, and I think one package in USI Tech at that point, because it depends on the interest rate that Bitcoin is trading at, one package at that point was like $62. So I bought a package and I watched it for a while, seeing that it was gaining interest daily, but it wasn't gaining high interest because one of the promise that USI Tech made to their investors is that they would make sure everybody is able to participate, because it seems what was happening with all the other companies was that the guys who have all the money were buying up the Bitcoins, trading, getting the profit, getting out. So therefore, the little person like me, it wasn't beneficial to me. So USI Tech promised that it would make sure that all of their investors got paid. So like I said, I bought a package in the end of July, and I bought another package in mid-August, and then I bought another package early September. So right now I have 3 packages with USI Tech. They're trading and I'm seeing profit every day. And the good thing about USI Tech, you could use your profit to rebuy and get other accounts. So right now I'm almost at the rate of Bitcoin that I need to purchase another package. So when I do purchase the other package, I'll film it for you guys so you could actually see me doing it in action. But I made this video to say, you know, even though you've been burned with Bitcoin, don't give up, because there is still hope out there. And USI Tech is one of those companies that are helping people. I don't know if it's gonna go under. I don't know if it's stable, but it's stable enough for me to stay with them. And I'm going to leave a link below to the website so you could go on and check it for yourself to see if it's something that will interest you. Of course, the website isn't a fancy one, but it works.
Bitcoin, a boom or a bust? The cryptocurrency currently, let's take a look at the chart. It's been an interesting night overnight. 15,610. So from 10,000 to 20,000, here we are this morning. We never know where Bitcoin's going to be. But Bitcoin's recent spikes and declines over the month have many wondering whether they should invest in this digital asset. Joining us, the founding partner for Silver Miller and cryptocurrency class action lawyer, David Silver. David, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
I realize that you've got a lot of lawsuits regarding Bitcoin, but explain to us what the biggest risk is, in your opinion, especially after talking with your clients.
Well, it's not even just talking with my clients. It's talking with my family at every holiday meal this week. The biggest, everybody's having fear of missing out at the moment. So the biggest risk everybody faces is simply how they're going to buy the cryptocurrency, whether it be Bitcoin, Litecoin, or Ethereum. So if you're going to buy the Coinbase, Kraken, Poloniex, Gemini with the Winklevoss twins, everybody needs to realize these are all different types of banks. And where you do your banking is very important.
Michael, I mean, that's...
Yeah.
I know you and I have not talked about Bitcoin, but I don't think you've been terribly bullish on it in the past.
No, I mean, look, the thing that I'll say is these things work because people think they have value and they go. We've seen this in our lifetime, and sometimes these things turn into Amazon, and sometimes they're the Globe.com. Anyone remember that? I'm old enough to remember that. So, David, I guess looking at the world here, what's the thought? You're obviously doing quite a bit of business in cryptocurrency. You're suing some of these folks that are causing people to lose money. Bottom line, Bitcoin, is there value there? Like, what's the big thought? What's the big picture here?
So the bottom line is pretty simple. It's the power of the network. So as we talk about Bitcoin, if only one person had Bitcoin, it's not as valuable. So that's why 10 years ago, it was only worth a couple of dollars. As people start flooding the markets, it's going to have more value. Whether or not you believe, like the Winklevoss twins, that Bitcoin's going to replace gold, I can't tell you that. But I can tell you that at my kid's soccer game last week and at the holiday table, and even my taxi driver, I miss living in New York for this reason, because the taxi cab drivers know everything. My taxi cab driver this morning was telling me about the price of Bitcoin and where it's going, and that means that everyone and everybody wants to be in the space right now, and as people rush in, the prices are still going to go up.
David, hi, James Freeman here at the Wall Street Journal. I know as a class action lawyer, you like to look for those deep pockets, but I don't see them in these exchanges. Is there a lot of money for you to extract from exchanges, or do you have to basically take people's actual Bitcoins, and isn't that going to be tough to do?
Well, it's a great question. So the exchanges right now, and the largest ones in the U.S., whether they be Coinbase, Poloniex, Kraken, or Gemini, they're doing billions of dollars in business. Coinbase a couple of months ago over the summer, which a couple of months in crypto is a lifetime, they raised over $120 million at $1 billion valuation. So Wall Street's coming for these exchanges and putting their money into it. That valuation, if you just look at the doubling or tripling of the price of Bitcoin, gives Coinbase probably a $3 billion valuation today. And they're not even the biggest exchange in the U.S. Now, the question about whether or not I can collect Bitcoins or not, at the moment, right now, every single client of mine, and I have thousands of them, they want their cryptocurrencies back that were stolen over the last couple of years. The early adopters in this technology, unfortunately, are some of the people who have lost the most amount of money.
Well, do they want Bitcoins back, or do they want actual cash value back? What are you suing for? Especially if you're going to go to a court of law.
So we're going to a court of law. Most of the cases are in federal court. In federal court, we are suing on most of these cases nowadays for rescission so that the clients can get their property back. And depending which federal agency you talk to, whether it be the IRS, the CFTC, or the SEC, they change on what Bitcoin is, whether it's property, currency, a commodity. But right now, my clients, I can tell you, they all want their Bitcoin back. They are all believers.
But here's the thing.
Every single one of them.
But if you're going to be somebody that's going to invest in Bitcoin, take that chance. You've got to know the risk. Didn't your clients know the risk going in, especially as you're saying you're representing some of these early adapters?
Well, it's kind of funny because all these early adopters, whether they were anarchists, libertarians, none of them believed in the government, and they all claimed that this started after the banking collapse in 2008. But ironically, when their money's stolen, they all want government intervention. They want the government to protect them now, I can tell you that. So right now, we are suing, but it's definitely a problem. In Florida, we got a historic ruling where we got 11,000 Bitcoin ordered back to us. And that 11,000 Bitcoins worth $200 million. Now, we can't collect it, but that's a lot of money.
But what I think is so interesting here is that on the one side, you've got people that say, like Morgan Stanley, you know, Bitcoin is worth zero. But blockchain is gaining traction at IBM, at Walmart, at Visa. In fact, Bloomberg is saying that this is the ledger technology behind the Bitcoin, the trading of it, is going to be one of the largest users of capacity in 2018. 60 data centers that IBM rents out to other businesses. I mean, so there is kind of a legitimacy, if you will, to the other side of the Bitcoin technology.
Absolutely. And what people need to understand is there are two parts of the conversation. There's the underlying technology, which is the blockchain, and then there's the currency trading and the different cryptocurrencies. The underlying technology, the blockchain, the public ledger that IBM was absolutely an early adopter on and saw this coming, that is where large businesses who are making the investments, whether it be IBM, whether it be Dell, whether it be Oracle, whether it be Microsoft, those businesses are ahead of the game, and this technology, it's going to change everything, especially the financial institutions and how we transact business.
David Silver, David, thank you very much. A lot to discuss. And really quick, Michael Block, I mean, there's a split decision here, it seems, from the investors. You know, you've got the futures that are trading on Bitcoin, sure, but then you've got an investment bank saying,
well, two quick points here. Number one, anything that involves transactions is a possibility for blockchain technology to become part of it. I've talked to people who run like pharmaceutical companies. Anything that involves like transactions can involve blockchain technology.
Blockchain. But so, blockchain is not Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And getting back to Bitcoin, everyone's like, oh, Bitcoin's like the big viable incumbent here. Well, Goldman Sachs just got into the business last week, or at least announced they did. What's to stop Goldman Sachs from saying, you know, this Bitcoin's real cute, but here, we have our own big, giant, secure cryptocurrency we're coming out with. We're going to trade with all the bigger financial transactions. You're all out in the cold. This is the new standard. You're right. It's great. Here's the good one.
Yeah, I've said that there's going to be 20 cryptocurrencies right behind Bitcoin. So
those crypto kitties are so cute.
I know
it's a different.
Goldman did not get into this to play follow the leader.
I would trade a crypto kitty.
Right? I mean, but that's like I feel like they're too expensive.
No, that's the thing, that there's going to be so much competition in this market. So Bitcoin isn't the only game in town.
Right. So by far, and first of all, I want to definitely say that we don't laugh or poke or pick at anybody pain or loss or anybody discomfort, right? We don't gain from it. The only gain that we get from it, honestly, would be from an educational standpoint, right? And this goes back to what we say, our motto as far as in KTG is when we say KTG stands, Kemetic Trading Group stands in a class of their own. You know, we consider ourselves as remoras. At least we try to take those attributes as a remora to strategically attach ourselves to the big fish, right? And we do the total opposite of what the herd or the 90% do, right? And now, as you can see, it's starting to come even more clearer and clearer to you that you have to know structure in the market. You need to know where traders will actually be trapped. And if they're trapped, then we know that the big fish are invested, right? And if they're invested, then we can strategically attach ourselves to them and we can take a ride with them. The one clear thing that stands out to me that the people in the previous video made a mistake at is listening to other people and listening to the media. Whereas if they would have learned how to analyze the chart and really know what's going on, then they wouldn't have made that mistake, right? And this is why I say your lessons are very valuable. It's more valuable than somebody sending you an email or calling you on the phone and saying, hey, this particular stock or this particular currency is going up, going down, you know, hey, buy, sell. You know, we don't fall for that. All right. So that's the 90%. That's part of the 90%. Remember, you got some traders that's actually on the chart that don't know what they're looking at. And then you have those that's listening to others or feeding into the emotional propaganda that the media pumps out. All right. And of course, from the 90% roller coaster video, you would recognize this particular picture that I have in front of you. All right. The status quo. The status quo. Basically, if you see, well, we would know that in this area right here, what would that be? That's a range. What the status quo is building for me is building emotions, right? People don't know what's going on. They kind of hesitant about this and that. We don't know, so and so. And then all of a sudden, something happens. A pop, a news feed, a propaganda, could be anything, right? And it takes off. Now, it takes off. You get people to commit their goals to this, their money, so and so is going up. It's rising at a huge rate, rising action or rising price action, right? And then it hits and it goes up and it meets a all-time high, right? I'm not sure why they call it the rock bottom, but it's the climax. It's a buying climax that it meets, right? Our all-time high. Then all of a sudden, it kind of gets stagnant, right? Kind of gets stagnant. But you still have believers in this thing because previously, the rising action, the rising price action was so alluring, was so tempting that you still have people buying right here at this point. Now, just from our lessons, we know that if it was making higher highs, higher lows, and now it's having problems making higher highs, right? Our next step is to look to see, well, is it going to make lower lows now, right? Because it's starting to fail to make higher highs. We already know it's a problem. It pushed itself up to another zone, another range, right? Then all of a sudden, it falls. It's making lower lows. But the people that don't know how to analyze the chart, they still buy into it. And this is where you get the people starting to give you these negative testimonies. Oh man, I'm losing money. I don't understand. It was winning money and I'm getting scammed. And not only that, you have people that's plaguing on the whole movement of the market and just outright scamming people, getting them to put their money in and taking them accounts and whatnot. We heard it all, everything, right? But this is the thing. They could have saved themselves if they would have came to KTG. No, they could save themselves, and they still could save themselves because there's always room for redemption for anybody, right? But they could save themselves if they learn how to analyze the chart, right? And just like that rising action, that rising price action, what happened? You have a rapid falling action. You have a rapid falling price action. It scares people. Notice how the price action goes all the way down, all the way back to status quo to create another new status quo. Now notice this. The first status quo was a level, a range. It moved up and it pushed up to another range. Then it pushed down back to another range. Just want y'all guys to notice that. And I want you to notice these vertical lines in between. Well, let's just say that these are your excuse me, people. Let's just say this is your session change, the 24-hour bracket in between the days and whatnot, okay? So you can literally see the chart from this. Maybe you have to go back to that video. I don't mind that y'all listen to me 100 times because I have information on that. Go back to that roller coaster video and really understand what I was saying in that. All right. But if you don't want to do that, of course, you know I got you. I'm going to go ahead and take you to the Bitcoin chart. Why not, right? You notice on the Bitcoin chart, it's the 1 day, all right? And look what we have here. A zone, all right? When we bring up the picture again, let's put it right here so we can see it. If you look, this back. If you look, status quo. For a while, this is around August. This is around August, yeah. So this is around August, all the way to all the way to November, basically the begin middle part of November. You have a range, all right? Status quo, right? All right. Then something happens. Something happens, and all through November, December, it's rising price action. Rising, right? It gets to our all-time high. And all of a sudden, now keep in mind, we still have people buying, right? All of a sudden, it gets into a little mode of like not really making highs anymore. What's going on? It was strong before. That does not look like what's going on. Buying climax. All right. Now, I love this because it says seizing the prize, right? Who is seizing the prize? It's not the retailers, okay? All right. So they have to be talking about the big boys, right? And if they talk about the big boys, then after seizing the prize, what happens? A rapid falling price action happens. Well, let's see. Oh, no. And this is where we at right now. So let's bring our picture back. All right. Now, you guys are trying to figure out how to analyze the chart. And I keep telling you to keep it simple, man. But not simple like the 90%. Remember, we smarter than that. All right, we're intelligent people. But I want you to keep it simple, and I want you to think about where the market will go, what the market will do, what have I learned, right? And if you look at this picture, well, to me, it only makes sense since they're already in the action of doing this this motion, this procedure, that I would think that they probably would want to finish it out. And if that's the case, to create a new, after the rapid falling price action, they would want to create a new status quo, a new range, a new zone. Then I would say, just a projection, that the market probably would shift its way down. Let's make that red. All right, shift its way down. Let's move the chart down to here. All right, right back where they started, to start a new status quo. All right, let's put the picture right back. Let's put the picture right here. right? Just want to kind of iterate what I'm saying. All right. So notice that. Let's put it up here. All right. Status quo. All right. Something happens. Get people to start committing goals and stuff. And this is actually a really good spot to actually get in right here. So, I mean, it would have got me to commit, right? But I know that eventually what goes up have to start coming down, and we would have took profit up here, definitely. No problem, right? Rising price action, right? This down some. Picture back. Rising price action, climax, buying climax happened, failing to make highs, and at this point seizing the prize, the big people, that is, the big fish, and now you see a rapid falling price action, right? And if we was to take some trend lines, you can see, let's go ahead and make that black, of course, all right? And you can actually see where it's channeling off and sliding down, all right? You can literally see that, creating these ceilings and floors, making its way down. All right. So that is how you analyze that. Now, again, it's just a prediction. It's a projection, rather, right? But we can see that this procedure is actually going on. We can see this maneuver going on, right? And we know that these so-called intelligent people who really just have a lot of money to burn, right? They go by the book by this stuff. They did their homework on you, right? They did their homework on the person that's going to put up their money and whatnot, right? So we have to follow these things. And if we're going to be remorse, we got to know exactly what these people are doing. So here you go right here. I want to say that the market will probably fall all the way down. I could see it actually coming back down to the 2000s, right? We could wait for I would wait for another zone, you know, after, of course, that they do what? That they take all these people here money too. Because these people here, if they not dumping off their money and trying to wait to you know, go back up, then as they keep going and going, there is going to get to a point where they're not going to be able to get out. And it's going to fall so fast and take their money that they're not going to have a chance. And they're going to instantly switch their buys, because at this point, from coming from the 2000s all the way down, I'm sorry, the 20,000s all the way back down to the 2000s, you kind of got in your mind that it's going to keep declining. You get now the buyers to turn into forceful sellers. You get willing buyers to turn into forceful sellers, right? And that's going to fuel the big boys to do what? Manipulate them. Into thinking that the market is going to proceed to go down and take them for a ride. All right, so let me color code these for you. And there you have it. Let's make this one green. All right. So, and then of course this is your zone. I can see it playing around in your zone. See the range because it's going sideways. All right. There go your new status quo. Let's put our picture back up. Do this. So we can see that picture. Get this out of the way and put this back. So there you have it. If you need to pause it and kind of look at it and see where, you know, where I'm going with this, where they're going with this, see how it could happen, see why people are being miserable now and this and that. Well, you can tell your friends, you can tell your people, say, hey, this was designed to happen, to be honest with you. And you fell into the trap, right? And what you need to do is you need to learn how to really analyze the chart, right? And that's what you could tell them as you learn to master your skills, right? Because you're already there. You already here. You already put your left foot forward. So look, keep polishing up your skills. I can't even express that enough. I do it every day. Trust me. It's not a day that I don't try to, you know, enhance anything that I know, right? And it is a time where you have to take a break and kind of give yourself some time to really digest what you took in, right? And take that time. You should know that time to take, right? But what I'm saying is, go hard. Think about how hard we went for. I could think of myself when I worked, that I went hard for my boss. I went hard for the job. I went hard for, you know, other things and other people instead of going hard for myself. And right now, when you put your left foot forward on trying to learn this, you're already there. You need to go hard on your studies because this is for you. And remember, you can't shine a light unless your light is bright. So dig that. Watch this again. This was fun. And as always, I'm wishing you eternal life, prosperity, and good health. Uncle Josunel, Hotep, peace.